Andrew, I've got a question for you.
Okay, what's up?
In our tech world, church tech stuff, what needs to be maintained?
You need to maintain stuff?
I would assume so. Maybe. Maybe you don't. Maybe it just all magically works.
Man, judging by some of the control rooms that we've walked into, you would think that people believe things don't need to be maintained.
You just shut it off on Sunday after you're done, and then you turn it back on.
Some churches don't even shut their gear off ever.
No.
They just leave it on.
It just stays on.
All week.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's so bad.
Yeah.
And especially at church where you use your system one day, maybe two, if you're having a crazy week, maybe 3 times a week. Like, shut your gear off in between. That's maintenance 101 right there. Your gear was not meant to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well, there's fans and stuff. If there's fans, there's filters. Why do you even have fans on things? To keep things cool, to regulate stuff.
But if you live in Oklahoma, those fans are going to be blowing dust everywhere. Okay, if you have not looked at your equipment rack in the last 6 months, you need to go look at it. I guarantee you it's ugly. Your vents are going to be stopped up. Those fans are going to be caked in dust, right? And that starts to wear everything down, and eventually what happens is one of your fans is going to stop running on an amplifier, and you won't know.
Yeah.
And when you will find out is Sunday morning at 10 a.m. when you're trying to start your service, and all of a sudden half your speakers don't work. And this happens all the time.
All the time.
And we get that phone call.
Yes.
And there's nothing we can do at Sunday morning
No,
at 10
not
a.m.,
on Sunday
right?
morning.
But there's something you could have done, which is you could have gone out and purchased a can of canned air.
Yeah.
It's really cheap.
Yeah,
and it's a ton of fun to use.
Some amps you can literally pull it off and just
pull the filter out.
Yeah, and
clean
stick it back in.
Clean your vents. I remember, okay, this will show my naivety. When I first owned a house, my air conditioner went out. And so I called the guy to come over, and he's like, well, yeah, did you do your spring cleaning? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, you gotta spray your air conditioner condenser out. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he takes me over, and this is what I'm saying, like, I'm bad too. He sprays that sucker out, and I had never felt AC like that before in my house ever. Like, airflow is so important to gear.
Yeah.
So here's some gear that's going to have fans and vents, right? Your amplifiers, your digital snakes, your consoles, your projectors.
Projectors is a big one. Yep.
Because they hang up in the sky, right?
Yeah, you don't think about them.
But put it on your calendar. Every 3 months, I'm going to get a ladder out. I'm going to go up to my projector. I'm going to spray it out with some canned air, make sure everything looks good, right? Because the other thing you need to maintain on a lot of that stuff is bulbs, right? A lot of people are still using traditional projectors, and those bulbs only have so many hours they're supposed to last. Now, you could risk it, and my favorite church game is, can I see the difference, right? Where they go, hey, how long have you had that bulb in the projector? And they're like, well, I don't really know, but I haven't seen a difference. Brother, that just means you've had it in there so long that you haven't noticed it go down.
Yeah.
My favorite is churches that have multiple projectors. And they'll change one bulb, and then they'll go, oh. And you'll see the difference between the two identical projectors, one with a new bulb, one with an old bulb. And so those things need to be maintained, and you don't want to wait till Sunday morning when the projector doesn't turn on. You want to change the bulb on a regular schedule. Mm-hmm. Lights are the same way. If you still have incandescent lighting in your church, those light bulbs need to be replaced. And the thing is, you can't just go down to Lowe's and buy that bulb. It's a very specific light bulb.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be super smart to change it. You could hire a company to come in, and we certainly do that for a lot of churches. We have subscriptions where we come in and clean all their gear and change light bulbs. And
regular
if you
maintenance.
want that, we can. But a lot of this stuff you can do yourself, too. Just get a ladder out. The big thing is put it on a calendar. Schedule it out so that you know you're going to get to it and not forget.